Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be playing through Marvel Legendary. And not only that, but I'm actually going to be playing through a self-made campaign where basically I'm going to go through all the masterminds and all of the scheme combinations that can be found in the game. So for today's opening game, the first game of the campaign, the mastermind will be Red Skull, none other than Johann Schmidt, the arch nemesis of Captain America. And as you can see here, he always leads Hydra. So in his villain deck, not only will we find his Master Strike, but we will also find Hydra as the villain group. Here, for example, we have Endless Armies of Hydra. That's one of the villains within that villain group. And then we will choose a henchman, that is a weaker villain, that will be added to the deck. And in this case, we're going to have the Hand Ninjas. Now, for the scheme for today, we're going to be playing a basic scheme, simple scheme called Midtown Bank Robbery. And in this scheme, it includes 8 twist cards, and there will be 12 total bystanders randomly determined and shuffled from the bystander deck, and they will be included in the villain deck. Here it also explains what happens every time a twist comes out, and we'll look into that further. But look at that endgame condition. Evil wins when 8 bystanders are carried away by escaping villains. So we really want to keep villains from escaping, in particular those who capture bystanders. Now for the 3 heroes that we'll be playing solo, so we're only going to be choosing 3 different heroes. And we're going to keep it thematic. We're going to have the original Captain America from the base game. We're also going to have Captain America 1941 from the 75th anniversary expansion. And we're also going to have Steve Rogers, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., also from the 75th anniversary expansion. So we're going to shuffle the villain deck and the hero deck, and then we're going to commence and begin our game. All right, now everything is nice and shuffled and ready for setup. We're going to reveal the headquarters here, see what heroes are available to be recruited. Obviously, all of these are going to be Captain Americas, but different types of Captain Americas. A lot of the base game Captain Americas. As you might have noticed, I have all of my hero cards nicely sleeved, while my villain cards are unsleeved at the moment. I apologize to anybody who might be disturbed by this. I'm currently in the process of sleeving my entire collection. So we have all of these ready. I'm going to draw my starting hand of 6 cards. So far, I've got a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents here. And here's a S.H.I.E.L.D. trooper and another S.H.I.E.L.D. trooper. This is probably like the worst starting hand possible when you get 2 of these S.H.I.E.L.D. troopers. Hardly any enemies are that weak. And we're going to start the game by drawing the top card here of the villain deck. And it is a Hydra villain, in particular the Endless Armies of Hydra that I mentioned earlier. And as you could see, they have a fight effect. When you fight this villain, you will play the top 2 cards of the villain deck. So that's something to consider. They are relatively weak, only 4 cost of attack in order to defeat them. So I won't be able to defeat them this first round because, as I mentioned, I only have 2 recruit cards here, these S.H.I.E.L.D. troopers. But I do have 4 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents giving me 4 recruit symbols. So I can recruit anything that costs 4 or less. We always have the S.H.I.E.L.D. officer deck here, which costs 3, and the sidekicks deck, which costs 2, but you can never buy more than 1 sidekick per turn. So let's look at the heroes. These guys are out of the question. They're 5 and 6 respectively, another 6. You know what? I'm going to get this Captain America Avengers Assemble card. It only costs 3, and I think it's a very helpful recruit card, especially long term, because the more colors I'm able to acquire, the more valuable this becomes. So I will recruit that, immediately replace it with another hero card, another expensive card, Storm the Beachhead, and we are done with my first turn. So I'm gonna draw back up to a hand of 6 cards here. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have the same exact hand as the first turn, where it's only going to be 2 worth of attack and 4 recruit. So that is awful. Let's see what happens with the top card of the villain deck. And it is a scheme twist. So we will place this here by the scheme here. And we're going to read the scheme and see what happens every time a twist cards come out. it says each villain gets +1 attack for each bystander it has. So that's a special rule that goes with this Midtown Bank Robbery theme or scheme. But every time a twist is drawn, any villain in the bank captures 2 bystanders, then play the top card of the villain deck. So we do have a villain in the bank that is, or I'm sorry, we don't. We only have a villain in the sewer. So lucky for us, nothing's going to happen. The bank is the next location. So for now, we are actually good. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. Again, I only have 2 attack. Not much I could do with that. With my 4 recruit, instead of getting another Avengers Assemble Captain America card, I'm actually going to get a regular Shield Officer or a Shield Officer card. And I do have the Shield Expansion Special Officers shuffled into this deck. So some of these officers are actually more valuable than the standard Shield Officer. But I was only able to get Maria Hill, which is the standard Shield Officer. So I get her and I will add her to my discard pile. And there is nothing else I can do with my turn. So I am done. I have no deck left, so I will have to shuffle my discard pile in order to create a new deck. Okay, so now we are nice and shuffled. I'm ready to draw a new hand of 6 cards. I did forget that I just drew a Scheme Twist, and when you're playing solo, every time a Scheme Twist is resolved, you have to KO one of the heroes from the headquarters of cost 6 or less. So I'm going to KO this card here. I already have one of them. I'm going to KO it, put it over here with the rest of the KO cards. That's where they'll go for now. And I'll immediately replenish. Okay, and now the headquarters is very costly. Everything in the headquarters is 5 or more. So now I'm going to draw back up to a hand of 6 cards. I drew my Avengers Assemble card. Here's a Shield Trooper and a Shield Agent and another Shield Agent and another Shield Trooper and another Shield Trooper, which gives me 3 attack, which is better than 2. However, there's only 1 villain in the city, cost 4. The Mastermind Red Skull, although he is probably the weakest Mastermind in all of Marvel Legendary, he still costs 7, so I'm not quite ready to start facing him yet. So let's count my recruit here. So it says I get +1 recruit for each color of hero you have. Now, luckily, the starters, they do count as heroes. And although they don't necessarily have a class like the main heroes do, they do have a color, which is gray, along with this yellow-orange color here. So there's 2 different colors. So this will give me 2 recruit, 3 recruit, and 4 recruit. So again, I have 4 recruit. Nothing I can afford here. I'm considering getting another Shield Officer or a sidekick. I think I'm going to draw the top sidekick card here. And I got a regular sidekick here, Bucky Barnes, basically. This will allow me to draw 2 cards whenever I play this in the future. And I am done with my turn. I will draw back up to a hand of 6 cards. Shield Agents here, a bunch of them. I drew my Shield Officer, Maria Hill, so I'm going to have a very high recruit turn next turn. Got another Shield Officer, and finally a Shield Trooper. Okay, so we're done with that. We're going to start the next turn. We're going to reveal the top card of the villain deck, and it is a bystander. And the bystander will be captured by the leftmost villain, which in this case is the Endless Armies of Hydra over here. So I will place this bystander underneath them, and according to the conditions of the current scheme, each villain gets +1 for each bystander it has. So now, the weakest villain in the game, the Endless Armies of Hydra, they no longer cost 4. They have 1 bystander in captivity. So now they cost 5 to defeat. So that's going to be quite the challenge. So back to my turn here. I only have 1 attack. Nothing I could do with that. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 recruit icons. So I could purchase any card, basically. So I'm looking at all these cards. And you know what? Getting 6 is pretty hard, so I might as well purchase, get the most bang for my buck, get this Diving Block Captain America card from the base game. It says, not only does it give me 4 attack, which is very valuable, but it says that if I were to gain a wound, I can reveal this card and draw a card instead of getting that wound. So that's very helpful because wounds clog up your deck and weaken you. So I will recruit that, put it into my discard pile. I will immediately replenish this spot in the headquarters ooh, this nice reassigned to civilian duty Steve Rogers card. Pretty good. Again, it's still a little costly, 5 recruit worth, but we'll see what happens in the future. So I am done with my turn. I will draw back up to 6 cards. I only have 2 cards and my deck is empty, so I will have to shuffle my discard pile in order to continue drawing to my hand of 6. All right, I'm all shuffled up. I will draw 4 more cards to complete my hand at 6. I got Maria Hill here again, another Shield Agent, and another Shield Agent. So, wait, one more card. And I got this sidekick, which can be very useful. So now we will start the turn by revealing and playing the top card of the villain deck. And it is yet another bystander. However, this is not your regular, ordinary bystander. This is a specialized bystander. He's a radiation scientist. And these bystanders actually get you some rewards when you're able to rescue them. So we will place this on the leftmost villain. Again, the endless armies of Hydra. And now they've got 2 villains that they have captured, which means, according to the conditions of the scheme, they're going to get +1 for each of those bystanders. So now, this endless armies of Hydra costs 6 to defeat. Oh, things are getting hard, guys. Okay, so I'm going to start by playing my sidekick. It says you may return this card to the sidekick stack if you do draw 2 cards. So this is actually going to go to the bottom of the sidekick stack because I do have some specialized sidekicks in here, so instead of it just simply going in the stack, it goes in the bottom. But it will allow me to draw 2 cards and add them to my deck. So let's hope for some good cards here. Not that I can do much with my attack currently. So I've got 1 trooper. That's good. Save them for later. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 recruit. So this is really good, guys. So I'm debating between the Steve Rogers card here or the Captain America 1941 card. Now, this card is very good if you have played shield officers before it. If you play 3 shield officer symbols before playing this card, it's going to allow you to KO a shield officer card. So this is a great way of culling your deck of weaker cards. At the same time, it only gives you 2 base attack. This gives you no base attack, but for each hero class, it gives you +1. So as the game progresses, it'll become more valuable. And it also has this man at a time keyword, which means you could play it 2 turns in a row. You know what? I'm going to start working on thinning out my deck of weak cards. I'm going to get this reassigned to civilian duty Steve Rogers card. It costs 5, which I had 7 recruit. I will put it in my discard pile. I had 7 recruit icons. And I still have 2 left over. Let's replace this empty spot here with this devoted patriot, just short of being able to afford this. Instead, I'm going to use the 2 to acquire another sidekick card. And I got this special one here, Lockheed here. All right, so I will put him in my discard pile. Not only will he be useful, I have to use him 1 time, but he gives me 2 attack. He actually has a class because all of these special sidekicks have a class and a team they belong to. And if I play a blue type of card before him, it gives me an additional attack. So that's cool. All right. So we are done with our turn here. And we're going to draw back up to 6 cards. I got my Avengers Assemble card again. Here's a Shield Agent and a Shield Trooper and another Shield Agent and another Shield Trooper and another Shield Trooper. Okay, we are done. Beginning of the turn, we're going to reveal and play the top card of the villain deck. And it is another scheme twist. So we'll place it here next to the scheme. And what happens again? We're going to look and it says any villain in the bank captures 2 bystanders and then play the top card of the villain deck. So I actually forgot to do the play the top card of the villain deck last time I executed the scheme twist, which means we're actually 1 card behind in this deck. So I'm going to factor that in and I'm going to draw 2 cards right now. And this is a villain, which means the Hydra should have been here. It also means that one of these scheme twists, one of these bystanders, the second one, should have actually been with the hand ninja. So I will rectify that. It's a good thing about playing solo. You can easily correct your mistakes. Nobody has to suffer. Okay, and now, so that was just to make up for the previous scheme twist. Now, according to the current twist, this villain in the bank now captures 2 bystanders. So I'm going to draw, and I like to keep my bystanders face down. That way I don't know if they're specialized bystanders or your standard. And I will place them underneath the Hydra, or the endless armies of Hydra. So now they have 3 bystanders in their possession, which means they cost 4. And I still have to draw 1 more card from the villain deck in order to carry out this scheme twist. And it's another scheme twist. So yet again, the endless armies of Hydra are going to draw 2 more bystanders, or capture 2 more bystanders. So now at this point, it's going to cost 9 to defeat them. And again, I'm going to have to reveal the top card here and play it. And it's a bystander. So this will go underneath the hand ninjas. So now even the hand ninjas are going to be a little bit tough to defeat. They're going to cost 5 because they have 2 bystanders. And since I executed 2 different scheme twists and resolved them, I'm going to have to KO 2 cards. I'm going to KO 1 at a time. I'm going to get rid of this Devoted Patriot card here. I will KO it, add it to the KO pile there, immediately replace it. And I got to KO 1 more card. And again, I will choose to KO the Avengers Assemble Captain America card. Okay, so now we're ready to actually begin the turn. And this was pretty brutal. 2 scheme twists back to back. Lots of bystanders captured by these villains here. And with this particular scheme, that's quite the challenge. So let's see what I have. I have my Avengers Assemble card, Captain America. Again, it's for each color. I only have 2 colors, gray and yellow. So that's 2 recruit, 3 recruit, 4 recruit. And I have 3 attack. The hand ninjas typically would only cost 3 to attack. However, based on the Midtown Bank Robbery and their 2 captured bystanders, they actually cost 5 at the moment. So I have 4 recruit and nothing in the headquarters costs 4. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to get a shield officer, hope for a special one. And I did get a special one. I got Melinda May. So she's a yellow class hero. And not only does she give me 2 recruits, but if I pay 3 shield symbols before her, I get to draw a card on top of that. So that's cool. So I'll place her in my discard pile along with all of my other cards. I am done with my turn. I will draw back to a hand of 6. Only have 2 cards. Empty deck. Time to shuffle up again. All shuffled up. I have 4 more cards to go. And here I got 2 of my heavy hitters. So finally starting to get some of these good cards here. I've got a Maria Hill card here. I've got 2 more cards to go. Another shield agent here. And a Avengers Assemble Captain America. So this is a really good hand because I have a lot of attack and a lot of recruit. So first I'm going to resolve my recruit here. And I've got, because one important thing in Marvel Legendary is the order in which you play the cards. So first of all, it says you get 1 for each color of hero you have. So I have the black type of heroes. I have the yellow and I have the gray. So that's 3 different colors. So that is 3 recruit right there. This is 4 recruit, 5 recruit, 7 recruit yet again. So I'm actually going to choose. I could get this card again. They're very, very valuable, but I would be leaving 1 recruit that I can do nothing with. So instead, I'm going to use 5 to get this Storm the Beachhead Captain America 1941 card. I'm going to recruit him and put him in my discard pile. I will replace this empty spot here in the headquarters. Oh, this is a really good card. Perfect teamwork. This is kind of like the equivalent of the Avengers Assemble, except instead of recruit for each color, you're actually going to do attack for each color. So that's a useful card to get later on. I still have 2 recruit left over. Remember, I had 7. I just spent 5. And I will use the 2 to get another sidekick. Hope for a special one. Nope, just got Bucky Barnes here. But he's still pretty helpful. He allows me to draw 2 cards. So we're done with that. I'm done with recruiting. I'm now going to play these cards here. So it tells me here I'm going to play the Steve Rogers reassigned to civilian duty. it tells me here, not only does it give me 2 attack, but if I played 3 shield officers prior to him, which I actually played exactly 3, I'll be able to KO a shield hero that I played this turn. So I'm going to KO this card. I've already used it for what it's worth. And this is a weak card, so it's going to strengthen my deck. I will add him to the KO pile over there. And it says that if you do, you rescue a bystander. So I'm going to draw the top card of the bystander deck. And it's just a regular bystander. I was hoping for something special, but that's okay. And I'm also going to play the diving block Captain America card, which gives me 4 attack. So now I have 6 attack. Unfortunately for me, this endless armies of Hydra actually cost 4 to defeat. So, or 9 to defeat, I should say. So he costs 9 to defeat, so that's going to be impossible. But the Hand Ninja, even with the 2 bystanders, only costs 5. I have 6, so that will be enough. I will defeat him. And if I would have defeated him before doing recruiting, it would have given me 1 more recruit, but then I wouldn't have been able to trigger this action here. So I'm okay with that. So I'm going to defeat the Hand Ninja here, and I will add him to my victory pile over here, as well as his bystanders that he had captured. And because I rescued this radiation scientist, when you rescue this bystander, you may KO one of your heroes or a hero from your discard pile. So I'm going to choose to KO one of my current heroes, and I will KO the shield agent here. So again, that is 2 weak starter cards that I was able to get rid of in 1 turn. So my deck is considerably stronger. All right, so I am done with this turn. I will draw back to a hand of 6 cards. Okay, and I guess I got all my good cards in 1 turn, so now I'm looking at a pretty weak turn. We're done with that. I'm going to reveal and play the top card of the villain deck, and it is a bystander. There is no villain here, so it'll go to the rightmost villain. I've been saying leftmost all game long. Why didn't nobody correct me? I'm going to put this underneath the endless armies of Hydra. So now they've got 5 bystanders underneath them, which means they cost 10 to defeat. So at this point, they are much harder to defeat than Red Skull himself. So I might just try to work around them instead of focusing on actually defeating them. I might just try to keep the city around them as clear as possible, because if you let this city get too full, forget about it. Okay, so we are done with that. Let's see what I could do on my turn. I have 3 attack, nothing I could do with that. I do have 3 recruit, and nothing in the headquarters is quite 3. So I'm actually going to use that to purchase another sidekick. Okay, and I got Miss Lion here, a special sidekick, who allows me to rescue a bystander and draw a card next time I play her. Okay, so we are done with our turn. We are going to draw back up to 6 cards, and I got Lockheed this time. Again, with these special sidekicks, just like the regular sidekicks, you could only play them 1 time and then put them at the bottom of the stack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm done with that. I will reveal and play the top card of the villain deck. And that villain deck, it's getting shorter and shorter, which means closer to the end of the game. So I've got another bystander, the banker, who will, again, go underneath the Hydra, endless armies of Hydra here. So now their cost is 11 to defeat. So forget about it at this point. I've enjoyed a lot of the bystanders. Remember, there was 12 bystanders added to the deck based on the scheme. So I imagine most of these cards here at this point are enemies now, not actual bystanders. So let's see what else I could do with my turn. I've got Lockheed here, which gives me 2 attack. Unfortunately, I will not be able to do anything with it this turn anyways, so I will put it at the bottom of the sidekick stack over here. And let's see what else I want to do. I've got 1 recruit, 2 recruit, 3 recruit. I will play Melinda May here, which, because I played 3 shield characters before her, I'll be able to draw a card. My deck is currently empty, so I'm going to have to shuffle up in order to draw a card for this turn. Okay, we're shuffled up here. I will draw 1 more card. And unfortunately for me, I got this shield trooper here. Nothing I could do with these 2 attack, but I do have 5 recruit icons, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to pass on the Storm the Beachhead card. And instead, I'm going to use the Perfect Teamwork Captain America card. It's interesting because this card here benefits me off hero class, and this one by color. It's a similar concept. However, the starter cards do not have a hero class, but they do have a color, which is why I give the slight edge to this card, especially at the cost of 4. This here does have the advantage that it has mana at a time, which means I could play it 2 turns in a row. You know what? But I do need to diversify my colors. I need more colors. So I'm going to get this. I have no green cards in my deck, so I will get the Perfect Teamwork Captain America card. I will put it in my discard pile along with all the cards I played. I will replace this spot here in the headquarters, and I am done with my turn. So I'm going to draw back up to 6 cards. Here's a Shield Agent, Shield Trooper, Avengers Assemble, Maria Hill, and reassigned to civilian duty. Okay, we are going to reveal and play the top card from the villain deck here. And we got the Hand Ninjas again. And this time they have no bystanders, so they'll be pretty easy to defeat. So there's some target for us to actually attack with our turn here. Let's see what we have here, what I want to do. I think I'm going to do my recruiting first here. Although, yeah, I'm going to do my recruiting first because I really want to trigger this card here and be able to KO another card. So I'm looking here, and I've got, how many colors? I only have yellow and gray, so that's only 2. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6 recruit. And I have 1, 2, 3 attack. So I'm going to use those 6 recruit here. I'm going to get another diving block, very valuable attack card here. And I'm going to replace this here immediately. Oh, here's an ultimate for Captain America 1941. Punch evil in the face. It's a really good card. Okay, so I am going to, and it has the Savior keyword. So if you have 3 or more bystanders in your victory pile, which I have exactly 3, as long as you have 3, you will count as a Savior, which means you could execute the following effect, which in this case would be mana at a time, which means I would be able to play this card twice in a row. So let's see if I can get to 8 recruit. I've been getting pretty close with 6 and 7 a few times. So I'm going to play this card here since I played 3 shield cards before it, technically 4. I'll be able to KO a shield hero that I played this turn, so I'll KO another shield agent here. And I'll be able to rescue a bystander. Unfortunately for me, it's just a regular bystander, but you know what? Just in case I lose bystanders by any game effect, I'll be able to remain a savior for whatever reason. Okay, so now I have 3 attack, which is exactly enough to defeat the Hand Ninja. Again, their fight effect is they would give me more recruit. At this point, it's irrelevant because I used all my recruit, and 1 more is not going to be able to do anything for me. So I'll put this in the victory pile, and I am done with my current turn. Okay, so we will draw back up to 6 cards here. So I've got Miss Lion. I've got one of my diving blocks here, a shield trooper, a shield agent. I've got Storm the Beachhead, and I've got my sidekick. Okay, so we're going to reveal and play the top card of the villain deck here, and it is a Hand Ninja yet again. Again, they're pretty easy to defeat. Let's see what I want to do with my turn. I have 2 sidekicks. I will play Miss Lion, which allows me to rescue a bystander, and it also allows me to draw a card. Remember that I've played a red type. There's nothing right now currently. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave this visible because I might want to see if I draw one of my Captain America cards that are benefited by colors. So I'm going to play this sidekick here, the regular Bucky Barnes sidekick, put it on the bottom of my psychic deck, and I will shuffle. I have no deck currently. I will shuffle and draw 2 cards. Okay, so I will draw 2 cards. I got a shield agent and a shield trooper. Nothing special here. So now I am going to play this Miss Lion card here. It tells me I can rescue a bystander. So I will rescue the top bystander from the bystander deck. And it's alligator trapper. When you rescue this bystander, you actually patrol the sewers. And if the sewers are empty, you get +2 recruit. Unfortunately, the sewers are not currently empty. Right now, the hand ninjas are there, but that's okay. Now, this card also allows me to draw a card. So I'll draw the top card here. It's another shield trooper. I've got lots of attack here. This card here is a man at a time, which means not only will I be able to play this turn, but when I discard my played cards this turn, this one will actually stay, and it will be the first card played on my next turn. Okay, so you get +1 for each hero class you have. Right now, I have the black hero class and the red hero class. So that's 2 attack. +4 is 6. +1 is 7. 8, 9 attack, which will not be enough to defeat the endless armies of Hydra, which I believe are at 11 right now. But it's more than enough to defeat Mastermind or Red Skull here, the Mastermind. And with the Masterminds always have 4 tactics shuffled face down, which represent the fact that you have to defeat them 4 times in order to actually win the game. So I'm going to simply attack him and draw and reveal the top tactic card here. And it's Ruthless Dictator. And it tells me that the fight effect here is that I look at the top 3 cards of my deck, and I have to KO one, I have to discard one, and then I get to put one of them back on the top of my deck. So I'll place him here on my victory pile. So let's see the top 3 cards of my deck here. I got a Shield Agent, and I've got Steve Rogers reassigned to civilian duty, and I have another Shield Agent. So I'm going to choose to KO Shield Agent, so that's actually to my advantage, and I will discard the other Shield Agent, and I will place Steve Rogers reassigned to civilian duty back on top of my deck. Okay, so there's that. I defeated him. I'm going to place this on the bottom of the Sidekick deck before I forget. I still had 2 attack left, but unfortunately there are no villains currently that are worth 2 attack or less. So let's see what I could do with my recruit. I have 2 recruit. None of the heroes in the headquarters are worth 2, but you could always go to your handy dandy Sidekick deck here. And I got another copy of Miss Lion here. So each special Sidekick has 2 copies in the deck. And I'll place that in my discard pile. And I am done with my turn here. All right, I will draw back up to 6 cards. All right, looking pretty good here. Really good hand. I'm liking what I see here. And now we will flip over and play the top card of the villain deck. And it is a bystander, which we will place under the hand ninja. Based on the current scheme, the hand ninja now goes from 4 attack worth to, or 3 attack worth to 4 attack worth. But it's all right because I'm looking like I'm going to have a good turn right now. I only have 2 shield officers or shield cards, so I'm not going to be able to trigger this regardless. So might as well do my attack first and see what getting that 1 extra recruit from the hand ninja would do for me. So this is 2 attack. This gives me 1 for each color. I have green, I have yellow, I have gray, and I have black. So that's 4 different colors. So that puts me at 6 attack. And then I've got the diving block. Gives me 4 more. That gives me 10 attack. 10 attack. Ooh, which again will not be enough for them. More than enough for them, but not if I choose to also fight the Mastermind, which I am going to choose to fight the Mastermind because that's the name of the game. The city is pretty clear. It's pretty safe. There are 3 empty spots to work with. So I'm going to fight and defeat the Mastermind again and see what tactic I pull. And we've got Hydra Conspiracy. It tells me to draw 2 cards, then draw another card for each Hydra villain in your victory pile. So I do not have any Hydra villains in my victory pile. Red Skull himself does not count. So instead, I'm simply going to draw 2 cards, and I'll be able to add them to what I can do this turn. So let's see here. Okay, I got some pretty good cards here. I used 7 attack to defeat Red Skull out of the 10 attack I had left, which means I still had 3 attack remaining. And I drew this card here, which gives me a 4th attack, which means I'll have just enough to be able to defeat the Hand Ninja here. And the fight effect gives me 1 more recruit. So that's 1 recruit, plus I have this card here, Melinda May. I've played, let's see, how many? I played 1 shield officer, 2 shield officers. I'll just play another one before her, the shield agent here, in order to trigger her special ability, which allows me to draw a card. So right now my deck is empty, so I'm going to shuffle up in order to draw another card. Okay, I'm done shuffling. I will draw another card here, and it's another shield trooper. Gives me 1 more attack, but there's nothing I can do with that 1 attack. So let's see what we have here. I have 1 recruit, 3 recruit. This one gives me 1 for each color. I had yellow, gray, green, and black. So that's 4 colors. So that's 4 more recruit, which gives me 7. And Maria Hill gives me 2 more here, which is 9. Plus the Hand Ninja gives me 10. So I have 10 recruit. I'm going to use 8 of those to recruit this Punch Evil in the Face card. Very valuable ultimate card here. And I am going to put that in my discard pile. I'll replace the headquarters immediately. And now I'm going to use the two remaining recruit I have left to get another sidekick. And here I've got Hairball, who allows me to draw a card, and it also gives me 1 additional attack for that turn. So I am done with this turn here. We're looking good. We have defeated Red Skull twice, 2 of the 4 necessary times to win the game. We're going to draw back up to 6 cards here. Okay. 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 All right. We are going to reveal and play the top card, and it's a Scheme Twist. So again, with the Scheme Twist, according to the scheme, any villain in the bank is going to capture 2 bystanders. So the endless armies of Hydra are still in the bank. We're going to add 2 more bystanders. At this point, I have no intention on fighting them. I could probably defeat the Mastermind twice over for the amount it would take me to defeat them. And again, when I play a scheme, I also, or this particular Scheme Twist, I also have to play the top card of the villain deck, which is another enemy. It's the Hydra Kidnappers. So now we have an additional Hydra enemy to deal with in the city spaces. Okay, also in the solo variant, whenever you resolve a scheme twist, you're going to have to KO one of the cards in the headquarters. So I'm looking at these cards. You know what? This card here, if I'm a savior, which I am, is pretty good because it'll give me both recruit and attack for my hero classes. So I'm going to get rid of this Devoted Patriot card here. I'm going to put it in the KO pile. We will replace it immediately. All right, with the Perfect Teamwork, one of my favorite cards there. And now let's see what we're going to do with our turn here. So I've got this Storm the Beachhead card, which I forgot. I played it last time, and I forgot to play it a second time in a row, because that's exactly what you do with Man Out of Time. So I'm going to set this apart as a reminder that I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to discard this at the end of the turn. So that gives me +1 attack for each hero class. I only have 1 hero class, the black hero class. Again, starters do not have a class. They have a color, but not a class. So this is only 1 attack. This here gives me 2 attack. This gives me 3 attacks. Hold on. I forgot about this guy here. Okay. I've got 7 attack. All right. Red Skull is pretty weak, so I'll be able to defeat him at 7. I'll draw the top tactic card here and resolve it. And it says Nega Blast Grenades. It tells us here the fight effect. You get +3 attack. So again, if I wanted to, I could use those 3 attack to defeat the Hydra kidnappers, but I do not want to. So I'm simply going to add this to my victory pile here. I've got 2 recruit, which I will use in order to acquire a new sidekick here. And it's Red Wing, Falcon's lucky or good friend here. It allows me to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. I get to draw one and put the rest back in any order. That's pretty useful. So that's pretty good. So far, I've been very lucky with the sidekicks. Half of them are special ones, but most of the ones I've drawn have been special this game. So that's cool. And that's it for my turn. I will discard all these cards, and I will draw back up to 6 cards. There's 2. I've got Miss Lion here again. I ran out of my deck here, so I will have to shuffle. Okay, so I'm all shuffled up. I remembered just in time that I have this Man Out of Time Captain America card, which I will not discard. I will get to play a second turn in a row. So that doesn't count as part of your hand, by the way. So let me continue drawing to my hand of 6. And I've got Avengers Assemble, a Shield Agent here, a Shield Trooper, and another sidekick Hairball here. So when it comes to these Man Out of Time cards, you always have to play all of your Man Out of Time cards before you play any of the other cards in your deck. So you don't have an option as far as that's concerned. This is going to give me +1 for each hero class that I have. So I have the black, I have the red, thanks to the sidekicks here, and I have the yellow. So that's going to give me 3 attack. After that, what else might I want to play? I think I'll play this one here for a 4th attack. I've got Hairball here, which is going to give me a 5th attack. Plus, it will allow me to draw another card. We've got another Trooper here. And that is 3, 4, 5, 6 attack. So this is looking pretty good. I think I might have a chance of defeating Red Skull here. We've got Miss Lion here, which is going to allow me to rescue a bystander. And I've got the shape-shifted Copycat. And it tells me that when I rescue this bystander, it becomes a villain with 3 attack and enters the city. So this is actually not a good bystander to rescue. So now all of a sudden, we have another villain to contest with in the city. And her attack value is 3 here. Okay, so now I still get to draw a card thanks to Miss Lion here. Let's see what we get here. And we've got the Diving Block Captain America card, which will give me more than enough attack in order to defeat Red Skull here for the 4th and final time. All things considering, let's see what the Mastermind tactic says. It says, endless resources. When you fight, you get +4 recruits, so that does not affect the outcome of the game at all. And we have won. We have defeated Red Skull and his Midtown Bank Robbery scheme. All right, so we have won the first game in our Marvel Legendary campaign. Had we lost, according to my rules, I would have simply chosen one of the heroes in the current game and have them permanently removed from the campaign. Therefore, I would never be able to use them. So that incentivizes me to try to win as much as possible so that I'm able to continue using these heroes that I like. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the first game in our Marvel Legendary campaign. Make sure to continue following us to see our progress in the following games for this campaign. I believe for the next game, we will be fighting Red Skull yet again, but we will be fighting him with a different scheme. If I'm not mistaken, I do think it's Red Skull. So stay tuned to find out. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining us here when Harry met Board Games. This is Harry saying take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have fun gaming. Bye-bye.